am Associate Professor at the College at Rockport, and I'm also the General Manager of Rochester Community Television. I have been asked to be the moderator for this discussion, and I'm pleased to do so. I would first like to start by introducing the candidates that we have here with us this evening, and they are Candace Lucas, Laurie Thomas, Liz Hallmark, Ronald Hall, and Van White. It is expected that other people will come, and we will integrate them as they arrive.
My name is Candace Lucas, and I am a candidate for City School Board this year. I work for the University of Rochester in my professional career. I'm the Director of Community Health Services, and a lot of my work is based on helping Rochester to become a healthier city. Healthy lifestyles, exercise, nutrition. A lot of my work is in community, is working with the disenfranchised, with the disproportionately individuals who are low income, hardworking, but can't make ends meet. There's a lot of community collaboration around this, working with different partners, building relationships, bringing the community together. I'm also a parent. I have 2 children in the Rochester City School District. My son is going into the 10th grade at School of the Arts. My daughter is going into the 9th grade at World of England. Since they've been in school, I've been involved in their lives. I've been volunteering in the classroom, in the school building, on PTA, and I've been involved as a parent representative on many district committees, including the Executive School-Based Planning Committee, Facilities Modernization, and I'm now the president of the Parent Advisory Council. As president of the Parent Advisory Council, it's our role to make sure that there's a parent voice in the district, to make sure that the concerns of the parents are heard, and to make sure that we're included in the decision-making of what's happening. I've had a lot of experience in understanding how the district works, and I see a lot of places where we can make improvements. And I'm very interested in being on this board because I can no longer just act as a volunteer, but I have to be a part of the decision-making at the highest level if we're really to see the improvements that we need in this district to ensure the success of our children. Thank you very much.
Next we have Laurie Thomas. Laurie.
Good evening, everyone. Most of you know me. I am a retired teacher. I worked for the district for 17 years. Prior to working for the district for 17 years, I collected garbage for the city of Rochester for 18 years. I'm very familiar with municipal government on both sides. We're talking about some very important issues tonight. And many of you know where I stand on those issues, but I will state right here and now, I don't believe in reforming a system that doesn't work. Right now, our system of education is not working to our benefit. It is working to the benefit of the corporate profit. Our children are more important than their money, so we need to change our system of education, not reform it. In order to do that, we need to change the decision makers in our district and not simply adopt new ideas because there's no new thing under the sun. They haven't given us any new ideas. We've only received failure.
Right.
So we have to change our mindset as well and get out of the notion that we can reform and fix this broken system that has been for decades failing our children. With me, that change will come. I have advocated and lobbied in Albany. I have advocated and lobbied in Washington. I am familiar with state education law and federal entitlement law. We deserve, our children deserve people who are willing to fight at all levels for their educational future success. Thank you.
Thanks. My name is Liz Hallmark. I'm so happy to be here tonight, and I want to thank Dan for hosting this forum. It's great to have it in this space. It's a beautiful space. I hope more people use it. My husband and I have been residents of Rochester for 17 years. We sent both of our children through the city school district. They attended School 12, GCCS, our son did, and both graduated from School of the Arts. I was a very active parent, served on 2 school-based planning teams in primary and in secondary schools. And people who spend time at the board and are familiar with me, I spent a lot of time downtown advocating for different issues. So who am I? I'm a teacher with a background in the arts. I've worked as a teacher, as a teaching artist in many schools in the district. I can count them: School 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 12, 23, 29, and 37. I've also worked at School of the Arts, Genesee Community Charter School, Nazareth Hall, Hart Family Learning Center, and East High. Oh, and Charlotte as well. So I've been in a lot of schools. I've seen how a lot of schools work and understand the community situation in lots of the schools. I'm also an educational researcher. I earned my PhD in education from U of R, and my focus was on curriculum, teaching, and the arts. I believe the arts are essential for every child's education, and I love to work with teachers to show them how they can use the arts to explore any content area. I also believe that community involvement is essential to have successful schools, and
My only response to that will be, it is going to take the will and the effort of this entire community. And I have very specific plans. But understand this, and I'm sure all these candidates understand this as well, whether you're on the board or not, you don't operate in a vacuum. You don't operate on an island. There's a state that controls what you do. They dictate to us what the Common Core should be. There's been debate about that. There's a tax base, a city that gives us $119 million, and that hasn't changed for God knows how long. And there are things that the federal government, Barack Obama and Arnie Duncan, so none of us, even those of us that are successful as candidates, even when we get on a school board, we do not operate alone. We have to listen to people, we have to listen to parents, we have to listen to preachers, we have to listen to principals, we have to listen to presidents. God bless.
I'm Candace, and Ron's Candace. Ron probably said all of this already. We began from the point that if we're serious about improving education in the Rochester City School District or in urban districts in general, we must begin with the necessity of all of our children reading, writing, and doing math at or above grade level all along the K through 12 way, because that represents the foundation of all knowledge. And without a foundation, you cannot build. And for too many of our children, they don't have a foundation. It's not being properly laid. And connected to that is that we shuffle them along through the system. We call that social promotion, so that by the time any of them end up in high school, they're sitting here 18, 19 years old in 11th grade with 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade reading, writing, and math skills. And I'm not exaggerating. It's a criminal practice. It must be stopped, and it can be stopped. The way you stop it is through policy. Policy is what drives change. That's what the board should be doing. Connected to that is that this is very important. Many of those are the same young people who we're losing to the streets, who are dropping out, dying out, feeding the prison industrial complex, which is not some abstraction. It's not about conspiracy theory. That's real. The path from the schoolhouse to the jailhouse is becoming more clear than ever. I didn't have that much time. Ron probably touched on other issues. We must develop authentic educational programs for many of those same young people. We must become serious about parent and community involvement. That's just a matter of common sense. We need all the help we can get. We must scrutinize the finances of the school district with a fine-tooth comb and root out the malfeasance, the misappropriation, the handing out contracts like candy, with the services never being delivered. And lastly, we must deal with individual institutionalized racism because it impacts instruction as it's manifested in the attitudes, the belief systems of some of the practitioners, manifested in the curricula and in many other ways. Thank you.
Like Mr. Eagle said, they're cutting the teachers on the low end. Currently, our special education department is taking a hit, but yet still we have a lot of Black and Latino children in that program. Two, we have this capital initiative to where we really don't know what happened with the money. Now, Dr. Vargas's State of the School address was called Common Sense. To me, it's not, we're not performing. We have a 43% graduation percentage. That's a fact. But yet still, we're giving him more authority, more power to add on payroll at the top end, while our teachers are struggling in the classroom. Common sense says we need to flip that around. We need to give the teachers all the support that they need. Example, Edison Tech was a great school. A lot of children that came up through the system, they're now at car shops working, they have hair salons, etc. They're not only success stories, but they're employers too. What do? We cut the school. We washed our hands of it. Take All City High. The current board voted to reduce what was in All City High. They cut that as well. 500 children graduated through All City High. This graduation percentage would probably hover around 20-something% if it wasn't for that initiative. So, what do we do to get to where we need to get to? One, we need to have clear and concise direction. From the top down and the bottom up. The teachers don't have the resources in the classroom to sufficiently do their job. As I stated earlier, there was this teacher, Whitney Lawson, that had 21 out of 23 of her children that had severe social, emotional, and behavioral problems. It was just one teacher, and she was a first-year teacher. You talk about diversity and budgets and all that, I wouldn't want to work for the school district under those circumstances. But we need to have be complete and open and transparent through every single issue of the budget. I've spoken to Vernon County about the budget. About 3 years ago, I talked to him about the insurance. From what I know, as another board member says, yeah, they changed the insurance, which is great. That saved millions of dollars. In short, we do need a community effort, and we also need leadership that's going to take the role and push back and say this is not acceptable for our students. I am going through the current Rochester City School budget on my Facebook page. It has 435 page document. My goal is to get done with that by the end of the month and post all my findings on there. And I'm telling you, you guys will be surprised at what you see. I personally would not have voted for the budget due to some of the things I outlined.
Thank you.